Good morning. My name is Andrew Van Geest and I'm with AdeptAg. Zwart Systems business unit, the irrigation side of AdeptAg group of companies. Today we're here in the middle of May in the great state of Michigan at Bordine's Nursery here in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Thank them so much for having us out today. Today we're looking at water, rainwater harvesting. You know, our plants need a lot of inputs. We need sunlight, we need heat, we need soil, pots, but we also need great water. At Bordine's, we weren't getting great water. We had a poor quality well. Our pond is full of nursery drain runoff, which is fine for the nursery side of things, but not so great for the flowering. We have great rainwater that God gives us, and so why not leverage that? Here at Bordine's, there's 18.5 acres of gutter-connected greenhouse. We can take that gutter-connected greenhouse, we're already collecting the water, so why don't we channel that toward tanks, larger storage capacity, and then use that quality water on our plants. We know that Bordine's customers appreciate it because Bordine's grows some of the nicest plants in the state. Now we're in the greenhouse. So as we start to think about rainwater harvesting, how does that get accomplished? So there's a couple types of greenhouses, of course, and so we're just going to narrow that down where we look at gutter-connected greenhouses versus freestanding greenhouses. Freestanding greenhouses, of course, are a little bit more difficult. There's no gutter collection system, so you're going to have to get surface runoff water. When you go for surface runoff water, then you are tied to whatever could be in the gravel or in the soil that you're gleaning. But a gutter connect greenhouse is much different. We already have the roof that's covering so much land. It's connected by the gutters in the post rows. So we are, in essence, collecting that water already. Just in many farms, we're shooting it off the end. So here, what we can do is we can start looking at how are we going to grab that water, gather it all, and start to put it in a place where we can use it. So here at Bordine's, what we've done is we've looked at the gutter connect greenhouse that we have, and of course we see several gutters coming to the end. In the end, we've capped the gutters, and the manufacturer that you bought your greenhouses from would have end gutter caps. So you just have to call them up and buy those. Then you would put the caps on so that now we're containing, and then you get a spigot that comes at the bottom of the gutter. Again, your greenhouse manufacturer, if you don't already have them, would have those available. Drill a hole in the gutter, put the spigot on, then start connecting with pipe. So as you can see here around me, we have all this green pipe network that is coming from those gutters, collected into the green pipe, and we're just going up overhead into the silo. So it's very simple. This silo is about 12.5 feet tall, and anybody who knows me, I'm 6'6", so they're saying, well, I don't know that it's 12 feet tall, Andrew. I mean, it's not twice your height. But we're actually about 2.5 feet in the ground. So with these silos, we're able to dig them into the ground so that we get a little bit more volume and still be underneath the gutters. So we can get a taller silo, more volume if we dig it in a little bit. So here we have the water silo. It's holding all the water that we need that's collecting out of this acreage. And then we need to transfer it now, of course. We want to transfer it forward to our main water storage. So the way that's going to work is we have these silos all over the farm. We have about 10 of them within the greenhouse spaces. Those tanks are not tied together. They are all independent. It's through the pumping station pumping back to the main tanks where we have 3 very large ones outside. It's through that pumping station that main line together is all the same. And all these feed into it to feed the big tanks at the end. So what we do is when the silo is full, we have a pump right here that's going to pump that out to the silo. As other pumps might turn on like popcorn as needed, they'll all push into that pipe and it'll all move that water forward. As soon as the main silos are full, that pump will stop pushing because there's no room. This will fill up to its max, and it still has an overflow inside. So when the whole system is full, Maybe we've not using a lot of water through the winter, yet we're getting snow melt. We're getting all that water back. Then what we're seeing is everything being held, the pumps won't kick, and we'll just overflow the unnecessary water that we don't need right now. Here we are at another location at Bordines. This is another zone where we're collecting the rainwater, harvesting the rainwater. We're getting it from this zone. It's pouring into this tank. This tank again is about 12.5 feet tall. It's in the ground about 2.5 feet. That's why it doesn't look so tall beside me. And we have water storage, and now we have to transfer it. So what we do is we make a pumping station. This pumping station, we want to make sure that it has kind of everything we need. So we have a shut off to the silo so that if we have to repair the pump, we can shut it down. If we want to bypass the pump, say we need to empty the silo, maybe we want to clean it out or there's some service we need to do, then they can turn the pump off, open this valve, open the discharge valve, and slowly drain that water as they want. Or we can pump into the main station. So as we see, we're coming out of here as a 3-inch and going up into the 6-inch main that's going back to the greenhouse. As you see here, there's a little tube coming by. If they have questions about water flowing, they can just open up the priming valve here and they can just take some water from it or see that it is indeed pumping. It's a safety that they put on after the fact. The skid, built by Zwart Systems, an AdeptAg company, so that we can provide the proper technical specs so that we get the right movement of water at the right pace. Here, we're dealing with Priva. We're a strategic partner of Priva. Priva Computers, an environmental platform that we're using across this greenhouse to control everything, vents, heating, irrigation cycles, but we're also managing the tanks. So each tank has a pressure transducer in it that's seeing the levels of the tank and then suggesting whether or not, through the protocols of Priva, whether it's going to pump it forward or if that tank is full and it's going to hold it here. So all of that is managed by the Priva platform. That's a standalone from this system. So here we are outside. This is the main holding area. Many people don't want to give up greenhouses for this amount of storage because these silos are 60 feet across, 12.5 feet tall. They hold 1.1 million liters or 250,000 gallons each. These 3 tanks, 3 silos combined, 750,000 gallon capacity. Now, we pump all that water toward these tanks because it's from these tanks that the irrigation room pulls its water to feed the farm. We can pull at a rate of 350 to 500 gallons a minute is what Bordines is pumping out of this room. When we look at the greenhouses and we look at what water we have available to us, that rainwater is kind of the nicest. God gives it to us. It's 7.2 pH. It's very soft. Very little contaminants in the water. And so it's easy to correct with a little bit of acid to get it where we want, or just in fertilizer alone. It's beautiful water and we get it for free. By filling these tanks, we have a discussion as to this farm is about 18.5 acres of gutter connected greenhouses. We're holding 1.6, 1.7 million gallons capacity that we can hold. But even on a dry summer, that's only going to get us so far. In this case, it's going to get us 20 to 30 days of watering with no rain. In that case, we have the well. Now the well they had for a long time. They've been using it up until this project commenced in 2019. But the well water they have here is very hard. It takes a lot of acid to get it to where they want it to be. And there's just some salts and chlorides in it that they weren't interested in having. So what we do is we capture as much rainwater as we can. But if we see in the forecast that we're going to get no rain for the foreseeable future, then they have the choice to add a little bit of well water to their beautiful rainwater. So by blending it, maybe 25%, 75%, 25% well, 75% rain, they dilute the quality of that well water in the larger bulk, and that extends out their range. So they would typically know, and you would know in your area as well, where the drier time of year is, where you might have to manage that a bit more. So maybe they wait till they get down to about, half the capacity in these tanks, maybe 200,000 gallons or so, 300, then they might start peppering in some well water just to lengthen that out so that they get an extra week or two before the rains start coming again. So that changes in each area, and that's something that you'd have to see. Now we're in Michigan. Michigan is cold in the winter, so we do get frost. But what we do get here is we're not using the tanks that much in December, January, February. Those months, there's not a lot going in the greenhouse, a little bit of propagation, a little bit of water required. In those months, these tanks just freeze. They freeze like a swimming pool. They isolate the tanks freeze. It's a solid block of ice until the weather starts to warm up. As the days get longer in the end of February and the sun is out more, that's going to thaw out the tank. And now we can start using it March, April, May, June, July, hardy mums. We can use it for the summer when we need that bulk of water. So even though we're in a very cold winter climate, we can still do this and store outside. This was a wasted area for Bordines, just the way that their property worked out. Didn't make sense to fill in with greenhouse. They had maybe 100 feet or so of space by, what are we, maybe 300, 400 feet long. We could nicely set these tanks here. It's right next to the irrigation room. That all kind of worked out for us. Then all we had to do was plumb all those satellite tanks and push all that water into this area. We want to give a great big thank you to Bordine's Nursery of Grand Blanc, Michigan. Thank you for allowing us to come in and do this video today in the middle of spring when it's crazy busy. We've been dodging carts all morning, but it's been great to be here. It's great to see that they're using all our equipment. We have trough tables, we have ECA water treatment, we have rainwater harvesting, we have flood floors. We have all sorts of projects we've done with them over the past 20 years as Zwart Systems, as has our sister company, Agronomics, who does all the soil handling here as well. So a big shout out, and we thank you for your partnership over the years with AdeptAg. Now as we work together and continue in the next decade, we look forward to partnering with you in future projects. If you like this video and other videos like it, please press the like, subscribe, and you can follow us on YouTube. We have several videos that are both educational videos like this one, or that are just product videos. Thanks for watching.